Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week, where we've got our first victory since the international break. It wasn't in very pleasant fashion for a large majority of the game, but we got a victory. Obviously, Sima back in amongst the goals with a double yesterday, which is very positive. Thursday's game, we needed some sort of reaction for it was a largely disappointing result. Obviously, we didn't get beaten the game. It was a draw. You can maybe take that as you were. But if we win that game on Thursday, we're all but guaranteed European football, Europa League football. Sorry, after Christmas, and we failed in that respect. It's going to be a mighty hard task to go away to Betis and get that victory. So that result was obviously it's a poor one. Ibrox felt quite toxic on the night as well. Not too much in atmosphere, and then coming into this one, obviously the team had to then go deliver, and they get a performance. Not really a performance, sorry, but a result, which I guess is the main thing to stay in the chase in the league. But if you do enjoy the episode, if you could like, subscribe, and share. And we'll start off with St Mirren at home. Then obviously we were at the game on Thursday. I think we were all kind of going in and expecting to get a convincing result against Aris Limassol at home. Turned out we looked like a team that had reverted back to old ways, a team that couldn't pass the ball within 2 centimetres each other. There was nothing going on in the Aris Limassol game. It was a really, really poor view. Obviously, the big talking point was Philippe Clement subbing Todd Cantwell 35 minutes into the game, keeping Lammers on, and it was just a disaster. Yeah, game, and then obviously we go 1-0 down as well. It was imperative we had to get a bit of a reaction here for the game yesterday. Obviously, St Mirren were going to come. They're going to be quite dogged. They're going to be hard to beat. They're going to stick to their shape quite well. Don't have too much in outlet going forward, but they've been up there. I think they're in between Hearts, third and fourth in the league, so they've done quite well. But it was a game we just had to win.
We had to win. Obviously talking on Thursday there, probably the highlight really is on the screen right now is McCausland. Great goal for the young man, and obviously getting the start. But Thursday yet again, as I said to you, when the pressure's on, we have to perform. Can't turn up and do it. Yet again here, St Mirren, we had to come out. We had to get. We were hoping for a convincing result, and then obviously we got what we got in the first half, which was it was unwatchable for me. And I said I was a bit shocked that obviously Danilo got dropped and Dessers was starting, but maybe that obviously want to play everyone, also want to give everyone minutes, but I didn't understand why he was picking him. I thought, oh, no Lammers in the team, fantastic. And then I seen Dessers and I thought, well, I'm heading back down the tunnel, mate. See you later.
It was the team I'll put it on the screen just now. That was the team obviously that started the game. If we run through who obviously started this game, Butland had a couple of decent saves actually. St Mirren had a couple of chances and he dealt with them quite well. Tavernier in the first half, as we'll talk about that first, the first half was just it felt like we had reverted back to old ways under previous managers, and it was so obviously if you've got a core group of players that have been together for that long, that will slip into your game, and it was just so slack, so boring to watch. There was nothing going forward. Nobody was creating anything. No space was being made. It was just side to side, back to the defence, into Tavernier, cross into the box, keeper, or would get a corner out of it. And something that really is frustrating me about Rangers over, I don't know how many years, is how many corners do we get and we never get first contact on the corner, or we never dominate in the air at a corner to even get a chance at a goal. I'd put out the tweet on Twitter that it's absolute garbage for Rangers in the first 45 again, and obviously then we get one good passage of play. Desser's done quite well, to be honest, holding the ball up, sliding in Cantwell, and it felt like Cantwell was going to fuck the shot, and thankfully Sima was there to put his 1-0 up.
Thankfully, I honestly thought he was going to muck it up there. I thought Cam was a bit too deep in the first half. He wasn't playing the role, obviously, as a 10 that we wanted to see. Obviously, second half he done fantastically well. There was nothing redeeming about that first half whatsoever. Apart from Butland making a big save. As you're on about with calls as well, you think with the big boys who've got the back here, Connor Golson and Balogun, you would be. Obviously, Balogun last couple of games he's played, he's been unlucky, especially obviously Aberdeen game he was unlucky to have two there. But just for me, I think personally, I only like the goalkeeper. That's about it. The goalkeeper and McCausland. That's the only two players that I find myself really liking in this team. I don't think there's a single likable player in this team apart from the two for me. I really do. That's just for me, honestly. I cannot. I'm counting down the days until Barisic is gone. I mean, Sima, you could think me as well, but we know what's going to happen there. He'll definitely go back to Brighton. But 2 goals for him. So I mean, but I just honestly, there's nobody in this team that to me that's likable, but the keeper and the young lad.
I think a lot of Rangers fans are kind of, after the past 2 results anyway, I've kind of just been like, right, we've seen this trend far too often for these players, and it's kind of just beyond a joke sometimes with the big games that we play in, and we constantly cower and don't get the result we need in them. And I think that's what's kind of drove Rangers fans to this point where, for me anyway, as long as you put on the shirt and you give maximum effort, I'm going to support you as long as you're
Oh,
at
absolutely.
Rangers. But I think it is the same for me as well at times, is like how often are we going to see the same failures being given the same amount of time to play and not improving the position and getting ready players. I mean, as you say with Barisic, I think this game I thought he was all right, actually, to be honest, but it still doesn't disregard the fact that I want him to leave the club and get a new left back in. Um, I mean, Goldson, he makes a huge difference when he's in the team. It's Davies and Suter together looked absolutely amateur at best, to be honest, the other night. The defending for the goal was comical. And I feel like Goldson, as much as Goldson can give you maybe a mistake in there as well, he's so much more solid than anybody. That's why he's been a mainstay under about 3 or 4 managers now. Um, obviously Goldson slotted back in nicely, as did Balogun in this game, but I think St Mirren only had 4 shots in the whole game, so there wasn't too much for them to deal with. In the middle of the park, obviously Tom Lawrence was kind of pushed deeper. I think we knew Jose Cifuentes wasn't up to too much in Thursday. It was an absolutely diabolical performance for him. And we're lacking in the midfield areas now. I mean, Raskin, Clement said his injury's not progressing well at all. So who knows when we see Raskin, probably New Year time. Ryan Jack, I mean, no clue what actually the injury is. I don't know. I still don't understand how you can play 10 minutes for Scotland and be injured for like 3 or 4 games after that. Like, unbelievable. But obviously Lawrence deployed in there, further back from where he would normally play. Kind of like that for Clement, actually trying something a wee bit different in the middle of the park when it's clearly not working with anybody else. I thought Lawrence, I mean, it was okay in parts of the game, but I kind of bit of lackluster performance anyway. You kind of just hope if he stays there, he kind of keeps improving game by game. And John Lundstrom for me again was good.
Oh, it was good. Lundstrom done really well again. No, as I say, I honestly, I think the backline's a bit. I think our backline's gettable. Obviously, we're going to talk about the game coming up as well. And I think it's difficult, but I mean, the fact that some of the lads have obviously been here for so long and they're just reverting back to the same old ways it felt. And obviously, second half, you came out and you play a bit more positive football, get you going a bit more. I thought McCausland and Cartmel linked up really well second half. And then obviously the one that Danilo had the chance for that, I thought should have done much better with that. It was lovely play. But obviously wasn't to be, man. But second half I thought was a lot better, mate. But just overall, mate, it's just not been good enough, man. And I don't generally. There's no options in the middle of the park. January the book has to be getting out, and obviously I said I think we have to go and bring a boy home, and that'd be Joe Rebo. I'd bring him in on loan, and they just bring players in, mate, that are fresh faces.
Aye,
So I
I know.
can't. Honestly, there's no options in the middle of the park. It's Lundstrom and whoever. And as
When
you
you
say,
think about
like
the options we actually had last season as well, I mean, Tillman, Arfield, Davis, Kamara. I mean, we had the options, we had depth. Even if we didn't want to play half of the players at times, we still had players that we could go and put in. We're actually picking between 3 midfielders now, and one of them's not even a midfielder. Tom Lawrence is more of a fucking winger, a centre attacking sort of mid. Um,
as I said
aye,
to you, Lawrence the kind of guy who play anywhere in that park. I feel like, but as we talked about, as you said about Ryan Jack there, how can you play 10 minutes for Scotland and you're out for we don't know how long for your actual club? And I mean, that's to me, come on. And even Kemar Roof as well. You were looking at that lineup. You think, where's Roof? I think that's a guy who's definitely gone in January for me. Um, I just don't see the point
if
in.
MD will take him, that's the
I
problem.
well, I mean, there's got to be somebody that will take him. There's definitely teams that probably will take him. Just the fact that you've got somebody there that's always, I mean, a good option on the day, but always constantly injured, and then
What I don't
just
understand though is how's he on the bench on Thursday, but he's not on the bench for this game. What's the situation now?
Well, I mean, that's a good thing to bring out. But as I say to you, mate, the only two that I'm really hanging on is the keeper and McCausland. Really are the only two in me that I like. The rest of them, I could take a leave. Do you know what I mean?
Well, let's talk about McCausland then, because he's been a true revelation in a position that we've needed so desperately for how many years. He's came in, he's took his chance to get his goal on Thursday. He was impressive. Again, he's kicking on even more here. I mean, I think it's just his confidence when he takes the ball and he just sort of glides into the middle of the park, and he's clearly ready made for this squad already at 20 years old, and he's getting his opportunities, rightfully so, and he's a guy that can't be replaced now. I mean,
Mm.
Clement got it totally wrong the other night with no playing him, no starting him, and he put Cantwell out there. That's his learnings. He has to learn for that decision and how much scrutiny he'll come under for things
Mm.
like that in the future. But McCausland was great. He's man of the match award as well. And for me, he starts every game that you can now. I
Well,
don't think there's any reason you drop him.
no, there's no reason. I disagreed with the manager after the game on Thursday where he was talking about he needs to be sort of like fed in and you need to watch it. I disagree with that at all. If you're good enough, you play. That's the way I believe anyway.
Well,
And
think about it in this way, right? You look at Newcastle, for instance, right now. They've got about half their
but that's
team
what
is
I'm saying.
injured. Lewis Miley, 17 years old, starting away at the Parc des Princes against PSG, and they get a draw. That's exactly what you're saying. See if you're good enough, you just play. Like, it doesn't matter.
It shouldn't, it shouldn't matter, man. And as I say, you look at all these other top teams in Europe as well that are playing young players and giving them minutes and opportunities. So why are we not doing it? So I disagreed with the manager after the game on Thursday about that. But yeah, again, it was only one really for me again in the first half that showed inequality because he cares. For me, really, he's about the only one that really cares because it's his team. The rest of them, it's just a payday. I feel like for most of them, but he was fantastic anyway for the entire game, mate. As I say, linking up with Canwell, done really well. But just the fact he's not afraid to have a go and get stuck in and actually put a fight in for the shot, that's what I love about the young man anyway.
Aye, and the more we see him, the more he'll improve. And I hope to see him starting on Wednesday again. But Todd Cantwell, the guy that's kind of been talked about since that game, back in his favoured position,
Mm.
obviously not doing the task right on Thursday, hooked off. I think a lot of people were like, right, well, Lammers is still there at least. Why is that taking place? Obviously, it's the manager's decision. Starts him in his right position. He gets 2 assists. I think there's the debate is over now. It's like one game Cantwell's shown. Play in the middle of the park, he'll give you quality. I mean, the pass for Sima's second goal was brilliant. I feel like he's probably one of the only players in this team that actually has that quality to find that pass and play it as well as he did into Sima. And for me, the debate is over. Just play Cantwell there. It's like Lammers is clearly not good enough. It's so apparent he's not good enough. Tom Lawrence is obviously going to be a bit further behind, but you're looking at between the two of them to play in there.
I would say it's Canwell all day, as you say, 2 assists, and he looked far more offensively better than obviously what Lammers has. I mean, didn't obviously the man just brought him off for whatever reason he brought him off. Didn't feel like he was offering the momentum, but I mean, you're leaving Sam Hammers on there. I mean, that tells you everything. I just don't know about yourself. I've got a feeling maybe he's been told maybe to play him and Dessers to just maybe try and make them look at semi decent and maybe get them out maybe a loan or just get them a move away in January. That's the only thing that comes to mind for me. I know the manager says he wants to improve players and give them that confidence, whatever you. But there's no hang me debate about it now, really. The Cantwell is the number 10 for me. Just so much better in that position. And maybe his attitude, it maybe let him down in certain hang me, but I think if you really look at it, he is a quality player and
But
maybe
then
gets the
you
chance.
you think about getting hooked off 35 minutes into a game and Sam Lammers is still playing. You'd be fucking livid, wouldn't you? Like,
No, you would. No, you definitely would. But I generally, as we said when we were at the game, maybe the manager overthought it. Maybe he you know what I mean? He maybe overcooked it. But I don't know. I just Campbell for me has to play there now. There's no debate. There's no thing. It's the same for me. I'm not playing Lammers or Dessers personally. I know Dessers did well holding up the ball and what have you, but
that's about
I
his
need a
only trait, though. See, when you actually look, we'll go on to Dessers now. See, when you look at his actual all round game, I mean, he's offside a lot of the time. He's not confident in front of goal. His only really trait is holding up the ball, and that's probably the only thing he does well. And the only thing he's done well every game he's played for Rangers. Um, Everyone else is just so weak. He's not getting any pace. He's really not getting that much power. I mean, he's got no real technique. it's a shame that we're even playing him. To be honest with you, like, I think Danilo obviously misses his fair few chances as well, but Danilo just
He still
probably
needs.
gives you more up there. He's got pace up front. He can create something, but our strikers need to start taking chances. It's between Dessers and Danilo. Obviously Dessers done well for the goal, but that was about. They had one chance, 1-on-1, and you can just tell he wasn't confident. He hesitated, and then obviously goalkeeper made an easy save. But it's a sad state of affairs really with Cyril Dessers now.
As I say, I honestly believe they'll maybe just getting minutes for obviously for loans in January or what have you. Danilo, I know you're saying maybe take a couple of chances to put the ball in the net, but still puts the ball in the net, and I still feel more confident with him up top than I do Des. Obviously, in January, we're hoping we bring in, obviously, the man will be playing on Wednesday, Lon Shanklin. That'd be the business we'd like to get done there. But I mean, really, when you look at it, there's no real quality options when I think about up top, and then when I think about in the middle of the park. Do you know what I mean? You think the players that we've had, to some of them we've got now. Do you know what I mean? We were told these players were going to be better than the ones that we let go, and you still really see anything for some of them to say that they were better than the players we did have.
Nah, and that's why Michael Beale will keep haunting us for the decisions he made while he was manager of this club. It's still going to keep going into probably the summer with a lot of this shite we've got to deal with. But obviously, the man that get the 2 goals, we can talk about him, Abdullah Sima. He's been a bit off it past few games, I would say. Nothing's really coming off for him, but I feel like we've also changed their approach to the way we kind of play Sima. I mean, it seems to be a lot of over the top balls and nothing really at his feet. I mean, you look at the 2 goals he scores, one slid through right onto him, he can just run onto it and score. And the second one, obviously, he's anticipating it well and scores a goal. There was a lot of, the first half was a lot of him getting the ball in the air. And it was to the head and stuff like that. And I don't know if that is a tactical change or whatever, but I feel like we should be using his pace and power with running with the ball, try and get on the ball as much as possible. But I mean, I'm a fan of the guy. He has had a couple of drop offs in the past few weeks, and I was thinking myself, is this a guy you would really want to go and pay 4, 5, 6 million
Oh,
for that it's going to cost? I mean, he does offer you the goals, but I think it's just as a club with Dessers and Lammers, for example, I think we need to be really smart on our business. I don't think we can really be going out and affording 4, 5, 6 million in a player again. Obviously, Sima's done well, but if we had to keep him, it'd have to be a lot less than that, I would imagine.
yeah, well, I mean, if you listen to the manager, it's because he's having a baby, but he's not played well. So, I mean, yeah,
And I was a
yeah.
bit random that.
I was like, honestly, Thursday after the game, his presser was a bit all over. I know he kept going on about you were guaranteed European football. Europa League would be nice, mate. And finishing top of the group would have been nice if we'd done it on Thursday. But nah, mate, his quality, as I say, he's a decent player, but the hefty fee that would come with it, do you know what I mean? You've got to be fond for it, and he has done well, as I say, but I just don't think he's going to be one that we sign. You know what I mean? I think it's one of them where we have him on loan and then goes back to his parent club. But if you want to give Billy Gilmore up the road, listen, we'll take that.
Well,
Because we
I'd
need all.
definitely be asking Brighton the question. I think that's probably in the summer. I would be definitely asking because it's looking like Sima's probably. I think he's got 11 goals now for Rangers. It took Ryan Kent 18 months to hit that for Rangers, and that's the guy's replacing. So in terms of that, the output for the wide area has been great. It's been an improvement. He's probably going to end the season with maybe 20 plus goal contributions, and I mean, that is a valuable player in this team. So hopefully we can sort of get something sorted. That's the question. But I'm not kind of holding my breath. Tillman was here last season, had a really good period as well. So, we'll kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, you can tell with the business, as I say, Brighton doing. If he's hitting the heights and doing well up here, there's no chance that we're getting him. I just don't see us getting him on a permanent. But as a loan, as I say, he's been fantastic so far. You just hope it can obviously continue. But he's not been playing recently well in the last couple of games because he's been having a baby, according to the manager. So,
Well,
uh,
we'll need to take that into account anytime MD plays poorly then.
aye,
But obviously on to the game on Wednesday then. We've got Hearts again. We played them back to back about a month ago. I mean, that felt like Rangers were really going up a gear there. We showed real resilience, obviously, to get them in at Ibrox, and then we absolutely hammered them at Hampden, getting ourselves into a final. Hearts since then, though, I've had an upturn in form, 3 wins out of 3. Naismith, I thought was going to be destined to be sacked. He's obviously got a real turnaround in this squad now, and obviously going to Tynecastle during the week, nighttime game. It's always going to be a tough fixture, but we've had a lot of luck against Hearts recently, and you can really hope that continues. I think there will probably be a couple of changes. I mean, looking at the actual players we have available, I don't think too much will change in the back line or the midfield, but the striker position continues to really annoy me. We don't really have anybody that's outputting as much as Sima. Bring Matondo in. I think this game's going to be really open. I think we're going to have really good pace to break. I mean, you've got power in the middle of the park with Lundstrom, Lawns, Cantwell. Cantwell obviously finding Sima with that pass the other day through the middle. It's kind of sparked my idea for this. And I would like to see Rabbi Matondo and McCausland on both of the wings, giving you pace out there. I just think this, for a game that's going to be so open, would definitely suit us, especially when the two strikers we've got at the moment aren't really firing on all cylinders.
No, I can agree with that, and I could see why, but I just already know that probably Dessers is going to start in it. You know what I mean? You know, if Lammers isn't playing in Dessers is
Oh, I fucking
guaranteed.
hope Dessers isn't playing it. If anything, I hope Danilo gets the nod. But
If Danilo, I'd like to see Danilo get the nod, but I agree with that lineup, mate. I think that's a very winnable lineup to go, obviously, to Tynecastle. But I just want the win, really. To be fair, I'm not really bothered who plays. Also, along the Croslands on the starting thing, mate. I've just, as long as we win the game, that's all that matters, man. It's going to be a difficult game. Also, we have done well the last couple of times we've played them there. Obviously, Jory will manifest it, bring it back. But aye, hopefully we can just get a win, mate. That's all I care about, really. I'm not really, as I say, Sima, Dessers, whoever, as long as it's 3 points in the bank, man.
nah, that's the main thing. It's going to be a tough one going up there. As it always, as you say, just hope you come back there with a victory, play well, and hopefully get a bit more positivity flowing again. But I feel like that's, for me, an interesting lineup. Sima through the middle, I think, could do real damage, especially with his conversion rate for goals as well. I think he's obviously done well. So, and I want to see Matondo. That's pretty
Aye.
standard as well. I think Matondo's got a lot to give us in a game like this. Away from home, his ball carrying, his pace could be vital, and then obviously McCausland on the other side. Could make for an interesting lineup, but we need to see. Obviously, the press conference will be tomorrow with the manager. See if anybody's going to be back for injury, or if there's going to be anybody new that's going to be injured. That's always a fun one, isn't it? But aye, looking forward to hopefully the game Wednesday, getting another victory, and then we go on to Dundee at home on Saturday after that. So aye, as long as we keep winning, I mean, aye, that's the main thing.
It's the main thing. It's the main thing, as I say. You look, obviously, the chances we had Thursday, and obviously previous weekend to actually put some pressure on Celtic, and then obviously qualify for Europa and top position. And I mean, just really disappointing, frustrating results. And then you had these games here where you're thinking to yourself, come on, should be a bit better. But hopefully Wednesday we can actually put a performance on and actually win comfortably. It would be nice. But as I say, as long as we win, mate, as long as we keep winning, it's this Christmas kind of run where you need to just, it's all about the results, not really about the performances. So, aye, obviously we get difficult games coming up as well, going to Spain and then a cup final. So, it'll be interesting to
Nah,
see how the man manages the squad with that. But as I say, as long as we keep winning, that's all that matters.
nah, I know the whole squad will need to be utilised as well. As much as we like it or not, it's probably going to mean game time for
Lamar,
like Lammers and Dessers and stuff like that until we get to
last 10
January.
minutes. Last 10 minutes of the game, I'm thinking maybe the last three. I'd just go through them.
But aye, we've got a good run of fixtures coming up. Hopefully every team
Who's
be
that?
fit.
Who's the boy for, was it Sheffield Wednesday night? He's on about he's going to splash the bank account. Well, there's two players for you, mate.
Oh, I did see that yesterday. Aye, he's like, aye, 30 grand a week wages. Take it both for them,
Aye,
mate. Take it both for
take
them.
him. Take him.
But aye, obviously I get against Hearts as well. We'll be able to look at Lon Shankland again. I really hope the board and the management team are really looking at him and just get him in. We need a striker that scores goals, and he's ideal for the moment. So, aye, we'll have a look at him as well again. Hopefully, the management team do as well. But aye, let's just hopefully get a victory. Going into next week, and hopefully we'll be back talking about a couple of more victories again. Looking ahead to, I mean, it's a defining week after this. I mean, Thursday Real Betis. It's going to be Conference League. Is it going to be Europa League? Who knows? And then obviously you've got the cup final in Sunday. Is this team really going to step up now and win some silverware? I'm already nervous thinking about it because I know what we're like, but it could be a real turning point for the players, the manager, and everybody involved with the squad. So, we'll look forward to next week talking about that. But until then, if you could like, subscribe, and share, always appreciated.